It seems to me, die-hard rail fans will do just about anything and go almost anywhere to catch trains. Scenes like this are common to us. Mucky ditches filled with litter and shopping carts, industrial leads in questionable areas. In some cases, rail fanning is not for the faint of heart. But if you're lucky, the trains are good. It's September 8th, 2015, and we've set up at Canal Road in Palmetto, Florida at SW milepost 869.5, and 0708 is right around the corner. Rail fanning solo. I would be watching my back this day as tragedy struck our small town. An armed robbery at Snappy's convenience store took the lives of two young clerks covering for their father on Labor Day, the night before. The gruesome tragedy taking place only 5 blocks away on 17th Street. Unfortunately, at the time of this segment of video, the suspect had not yet been apprehended. This line is the ex-Seaboard Airline Sarasota Main Line from Durant, Florida, and ran south to Sarasota, Florida, a distance of 69.7 miles. Construction began in 1895, where it widened off a line now known as CSX's Valrico Subdivision. It had 9 stations. These stations are in order heading south: Durant, Waimama, Parish, Palmetto Junction, Bradenton, Oneiko, Sarasota, Bee Ridge, and Venice. Construction to Palmetto and Manatee, now East Bradenton, was completed by late spring of 1903, with trains running daily to Sarasota by fall. The line was finally completed in 1927 when the first train arrived in Venice. It was prosperous from the very beginning, bringing phosphate, lumber, passengers, and local goods throughout these communities. This line hosted several trains daily, including famous segments of the Orange Blossom Special, locals, and the Tropicana Juice Train up until 1967. After the merger occurred, most of the through trains were discontinued and were rerouted over the former Atlantic Coastline main line that's still in operation between Tampa and Bradenton. The line was still worked by local switchers coming up from Bradenton till 1979, much the same way as this scene in 2015. The creation of CSX unfortunately spelled doom for the Sarasota subdivision, with only 17 miles of the old seaboard left in Manatee County, most of it still the old 75-pound iron laid long ago. The sun was setting as we set up at the Taylor Fulton Packing House in downtown Palmetto. The south end of the Y, forming the interchange of the old Seaboard and Atlantic Coastline, is now being used as the connection between the two lines, with a short bit of street running across the parking lot of the packing house. With a sharp curve needed to connect the two lines back together, it makes an excellent vantage point for watching trains. If you look closely at the top left corner of the screen, you can see the rest of 0708's consist sitting on the main. When backing over an unprotected crossing, the conductor places a highly visible flare in the roadway to warn unsuspecting drivers that a train is approaching. It is only done here when crews are backing cars onto the train at night.
Tell me head on about 6 to 6. What do you think about 4? Give me about 4. Now.
The thing that caught my eye was the reflective silver graffiti on this CSX insulated boxcar. A fantastic work of art in my opinion.
Got a big one and a couple of them.
Though a lot of old-time rail fans and railroaders despise graffiti, I find it's a very fantastic form of expression. I love seeing artists work, especially stuff as cool as this.
Green one's always good if a plastic one. 10 more feet. 5 more feet on the 10 and good. Step them out clear. 708 Big Manatee River, over. Big Manatee River, over. We're coming your way here shortly, over. All right, put it on the bridge, over.
After finalizing their switching and calling the Big Manatee Bridge tender, crossing lights flash. These new crossings are still wearing the old US&S teardrop bells. I wonder how many trains have passed these old relics over the years, still keeping motorists and pedestrians safe. These are Model A15 bells, patented in 1917, with the earliest railroad advertisements for such devices by 1920. It's safe to say these are original coastline installations with over 80 years of service. Trackside the following Saturday, we catch Q740, formerly K652, but always the Tropicana Juice Train, led by CSXT ES44AH number 879 and ES44BC number 727, with 65 cars of ice-cold orange juice, bound for Jersey City, New Jersey. Back out on the following Wednesday, setting up at me and Granddaddy's favorite spot. Yep, you guessed it, we're back at Canal Road. Hearing him at my apartment, I grabbed my radio and Liz and gave chase. It was a fitting surprise for me today. It was CSXT number 2634, and one of my good personal friends as today's conductor. You can hear him saying hello to Liz and I over the radio. This locomotive is very special to me, as it was the last locomotive Granddaddy and I ever saw together. This is one of a few CSX locomotives to still proudly carry a Leslie RS5T, its mournful whistle sounding a fitting tribute to those great memories of the trains me and Granddaddy watched together when I was young. The last light of day was fading as we made our way back to AZA 914.6 and the rest of 0708's train. The crew was in a bit of a rush today as they had almost none of their 12 hours remaining. They would eventually take the train into Tropicana Yard, where they would hand it off to the crew of 0706, the Tropicana switcher, and board a PTI shuttle to bus back to Tampa. Now, I don't generally yank my camera around, but in this case, I had to. I've never seen a crew drop flares from the cab on the fly, but being short on time, I guess it makes for a very time-effective strategy.
Restores his normal position at the time of 2001, 2001. Two more to be hit down. One more.
With the last light of day having left the sky, Liz and I left 0708 and headed to the movies. We hope you enjoyed this video brought to you by Country Railfan Productions. Please be sure to like us on Facebook, support us on Patreon, check out our official website in the channel links and on your screen, where you can find more great railroad media such as this. And as always, happy train watching.